Hello and welcome to the San Francisco Conservatory of Music. My name is Ava Harmon, and I'm a current senior studying voice with mezzo-soprano Catherine Cook and coach Island Pham. I'm excited to share a bit about the neighborhoods that surround SFCM and the heart of San Francisco's art scene, Hayes Valley and the Civic Center. Before we jump in, I'd like to first show you all today's tour route, which will take about 15 minutes. We'll be starting at the pinned location, SFCM's building at 50 Oak Street, walking east to and north up Van Ness Avenue, moving west through Memorial Court, south down Franklin Street, and east, returning us where we started at 50 Oak. Right now, we're standing outside of our campus at 50 Oak Street. We filmed this video about a month ago when the temperature was about 60 degrees Fahrenheit, a pretty typical San Francisco day. 50 Oak, as we call it, is one of our two buildings. It is home to 3 concert halls, 14 classrooms, 44 teaching studios, and 33 practice rooms. To see inside, I encourage you to take in a campus tour. Let's head east, down Oak Street and north up Van Ness Avenue to stop by the Bose Center, City Hall, the War Memorial Opera House, and Davies Symphony Hall. Ahead of us, you can see both Van Ness Avenue and Market Street, the two major thoroughfares in San Francisco. What does this mean for us students? Well, we can walk down the street, hop on Muni, San Francisco's above and below ground public transportation system, and go anywhere in the city. SFCM students get free Muni passes, which is quite the perk. Want to go visit SF MoMA, North Beach, the Mission, Golden Gate Park? While San Francisco may sound like a large city, it's only 7 miles by 7 miles. So with a free afternoon and your Muni pass, you can go anywhere you like. Now, while we students are quite busy with classes, coachings, lessons, ensemble rehearsals, practicing, and of course homework, we're also encouraged to step off campus because living dynamically makes it truly possible for us to play and sing dynamically. After all, we are in San Francisco. So, what do we do on the weekends? It varies depending upon what you like to do and what your friends' interests are. That's one of the best parts about SFCM, the community. One of my best friends enjoys spending mornings at the park, laughing until our stomachs hurt, while the other likes exploring, mountain biking specifically. Those two friendships alone expose me to new music, new ways of thinking about the world and how we interact with it, and experiencing new things that I wouldn't have otherwise tried. Regardless of who your close friends may be, most of us students spend our free days exploring the city with friends, busking in new parks just for fun, thrift shopping, and enjoying the fresh air. We've almost made it to our newest addition to our campus, the Bose Center for Performing Arts, which is just 2 blocks north of 50 Oak. The Bose Center can house up to 420 students living in 2 to 4-person units. The center isn't just your typical dorm. This space offers a restaurant, a cafe, 3 performance spaces, a student center, a board and study room, and an outside terrace overlooking the city. We also have 2 practice rooms available on each student floor and 24/7 security in the lobby. The Assistant Director of Student Affairs and a team of resident assistants live in this building as well. As we make our way further up Van Ness Avenue, you'll be able to see City Hall in front of us and the San Francisco Symphony just to our left. You may be wondering how we stay connected as a community, especially now. While our organized activities have changed to keep everyone safe, we've gotten creative. Some of our activities this year have included reverse trick-or-treating, hosting distance picnics in local parks like Alamo Square, and visits to farmers markets in different parts of the city. Speaking of Alamo Square, it's only a 15-minute walk from the Bose Center. You may not know it by name, but Alamo Square is the park right across the street from the Painted Ladies, the 6 historic, multicolored houses that are featured on postcards and even in the opening credits to the popular 90s show Full House. The Bose Center features 2 concert halls acoustically engineered by Kierkegaard and Associates. The Barbara Osher Recital Hall on the 11th floor will seat more than 200 people. You can see the floor-to-ceiling glass walls in the upper left-hand portion of the building, which offers views of Van Ness Avenue and the Civic Center, including our neighboring landmark buildings like City Hall, Davies Symphony Hall, and the War Memorial Opera House. The Jewel Box Recital Hall on the right side of the lobby will seat just over 100 and features sprung floors and floor-to-ceiling glass walls with views of Van Ness Avenue and Hayes Street. On the right is San Francisco City Hall. It's, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful spaces in the city. Us musicians learn about the type of classical architecture featured here in arguably the favorite humanities class at SFCM among the student body, Introduction to Western Civilization. This course outlines the intersection between history, visual art like architecture or painting, world culture, and music. We learn, for example, how to identify paintings by John William Waterhouse and how Prokofiev's music in the 1938 movie Alexander Nevsky, specifically that for the Battle on the Ice, went on to inspire John Williams to compose his famed chromatic theme for the movie Jaws. Interesting, right? That type of historical web is rarely connected and presented to young musicians, but it's exactly the type of information we need to succeed. On our left is the War Memorial Opera House, and behind us is Davies Symphony Hall. These spaces are home to the San Francisco Opera, or SFO, the San Francisco Symphony, or SFS, and the San Francisco Ballet, which we'll talk about in a moment. With 35 studio faculty performing with SFO, SFS, SF Ballet, and the SF Jazz Collective, you'll have a chance to sit in on final dress rehearsals, get comp tickets, or go backstage after a show. SFCM's box office offers free or significantly reduced tickets to concerts around the city each week. Pre-COVID, I got to see SFO's full season each year and go to the symphony each week free of charge. Outside of the free concert offerings from the box office, reduced tickets are around $5 to $10, so hearing lots of live music in the city is accessible. We're now going to head west towards Hayes Valley through Memorial Court, which is a great place for dog watching. You may be wondering, how can SFCM students get involved with arts organizations like SFO, SFS, and SF Jazz before they graduate? Well, our Professional Development and Engagement Center, or PDEC, has partnered with many Bay Area arts organizations to offer semester-long internships to students for academic credit. These internships give students opportunities to develop the skills and experience they'll need to be a modern freelance musician and pursue opportunities in teaching, arts administration, business, finance, design, office management, and other professional areas. Last spring, I was an intern for a local nonprofit arts organization called Little Opera that facilitates the creation of original opera by kids. During that time, I learned what it's like to manage marketing, write donor communications, and transition the after-school curriculum online at the beginning of the pandemic. After my spring internship came to a close, I was asked to continue my role as intern during the summer. 3 weeks after my summer internship ended, I was asked to join the leadership team, working as the organization's development associate. I want to work within arts administration after graduation, so this opportunity reaffirmed my future career goals while giving me relevant experience to launch that career. SFO is on the right, the Veterans Building is on our left, and the San Francisco Ballet is behind us. The Veterans Building is home to SFO's office space and a performance venue called Herbst Theater. Herbst Theater is a space used by SFO for more intimate concerts, like Maryla Opera Program's Showcase, and events hosted by organizations like SF Jazz and San Francisco Performances. In front of us is the San Francisco Ballet, which is also called SF Ballet. SFCM formed a partnership with SF Ballet School in early 2020, which allows SF Ballet School students to live in their own floor at the Bose Center, offers health and wellness programs and movement classes to SFCM students, and also gives SF Ballet School students access to music classes at SFCM. The partnership also facilitates new collaborations in choreography and composition. This is also one of the reasons why the Jewel Box Recital Hall at the Bose Center has sprung floors. Now we're walking south on Franklin Street, which runs parallel to Van Ness Avenue. Franklin Street marks the east edge of Hayes Valley, an area that students frequent often. This neighborhood offers small shops, lots of restaurants, bars, and of course coffee shops. In the center of the neighborhood lies Patricia's Green, a small park that acts as Hayes Valley's town square, if you will. As some of you may know, San Francisco is famous for a few things, namely sourdough bread, chocolate, and coffee. A few favorite coffee offerings in Central Hayes Valley include Ritual, La Boulangerie, and Blue Bottle. Fun fact, Blue Bottle was founded by an SFCM alum in 2002 and has gone on to become a brand recognized all around the world. San Francisco is also a city of and for foodies. With the abundance of culture and innovation outside of your doorstep, you can always find a fun new place to eat within walking distance of wherever you are. Some of my favorite restaurant offerings to visit with friends are Chez Maman, a cozy French bistro, Le Ras Thai, a sleek tucked away restaurant, Noja Ramen, a fun Japanese style tavern, and Suvla, an energetic hole in the wall that SFCM students frequent. There are also a few local ice cream shops, bars, and grocers in this area as well. The Sydney Goldstein Theatre is on our left. This theater features various events, including those hosted by City Arts and Lectures. Each year, City Arts and Lectures offers more than 50 lectures and onstage conversations with writers, critics, scientists, performing artists, and cultural figures from around the world. Taking in an event hosted by City Arts and Lectures is just one way that students can broaden their perspectives as individuals, which in turn also helps them grow as artists. On our right is the SF Jazz Center, the home to SF Jazz, their offices, and the SF Jazz Collective. SFCM's Roots Jazz and American Music program, commonly referred to as RJAM, was founded in collaboration with SF Jazz back in 2017. RJAM students often come here to participate in workshop and perform in side-by-side performances with the collective in the center's minor auditorium. A few current members of the collective include bassist Matt Brewer, tenor saxophonist David Sanchez, pianist Ed Simon, and vibraphonist Warren Wolf. The southwest portion of Hayes Valley also has wonderful offerings, namely RT Rotisserie, a small inviting rotisserie kitty corner from 50 Oak Street, SF Wine and Cheese, a charming French-themed grocery store with a patio for sandwiches and cheese tastings, and Boba Guys, the most popular boba shop among the student body. Now that you've had a chance to see the neighborhood, I wanted to give you some background about my transition to San Francisco. I grew up in a small town of about 400 people in Minnesota, which is smaller than SFCM's student population of about 460. I studied at a performing arts high school in a larger urban setting, then moved to the city to attend SFCM 3.5 years ago. Before visiting, I was definitely concerned about my safety because San Francisco was so much larger than any other city I'd lived in. But after having lived here for years, I can tell you that I've never felt unsafe in the city, whether walking around or taking public transportation. And that's coming from a small town gal like myself. And we're here, back where we started at 50 Oak. I hope you enjoyed seeing a bit of San Francisco 50 Oak, the Bose Center, City Hall, SFO, SFS, Herbst Theater, SFB, Hayes Valley, and SF Jazz. Thank you for joining me today, for letting me welcome you into our neighborhood, and I hope you're able to experience our beautiful city in person sometime in the near future. If you'd like to reach out to us, please email apply@sfcm.edu. Thank you again, and we look forward to connecting with you soon.